So the Texans marched into Jacksonville and won the team's 9th straight game against the Jags. The Jags were favored to win yesterday by a TD, but lost to the Texans, as you know, probably you've heard, right, if you didn't watch the game, by a TD, 13-6. News4Jax sports analyst Frank Frangie is joining us this morning. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
This is always hard. It is kind of Monday morning quarterbacking, so let's look back now and let's just analyze the mistakes. Yeah. We all are both confident that it's going to get better, but let's look at what happened. So Trevor was looking fine during the first half, and then things just felt like they were just kind of falling apart, unraveling a little bit in the third quarter. Yeah,
he's spinning a little bit, Jen. I think more than anything else, I think he's struggling a little right now. He's trying to find, he's going to be good. This is a young quarterback. He's off the mark a little bit. That leads to some drop passes. The timing's off just a little bit. I think you can see that with some of the receivers. You've got to get that right. And then obviously the big play, the rollout. It's 2nd and 1 here. You don't throw that pass, and you can't throw that pass, and he knows that. That was the big mistake of the day. 2nd and 1. He thought he saw something. He never saw Stingley in the corner of the end zone there. Right now, he's a young quarterback who's spinning a little bit. It's just that simple. This is a young quarterback trying to find himself. He's going to find himself, but he's not playing very well right now. And that's not a very good, and that's a bad loss. That's a loss where you had the better team. The Texans only got to the red zone one time in the game, and they scored a touchdown. So that was a tough loss yesterday, no getting around it.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the mistake that the Jags made that led to that in just a minute. But, is this just the rhythm's not on between Trevor and his receivers? Because I felt like there were a lot of drop balls as well yesterday.
The league's hard. It's a hard league. It's the National Football League. And I think the rhythm's off a little bit. I think Trevor said after the game he hasn't lost a little confidence, but he's human now. He's a young guy. He just turned 23. Right. He probably has lost a little confidence. He's trying to find himself a little. He's off the mark. He's missing high. He's missing high on a lot of throws. He's the long strider, and I think that happens a little bit. Doug's working with that. So he's making some bad choices, but he's also just making some bad throws. That ball's airmailed. Now, there was nothing there on that play, but he airmailed some balls. He's got to refine his rhythm. Remember, it's only 5 games in. I said all along, Jen, this is a young team. A young team's going to win some they're not supposed to win, like at the Chargers, and they're going to lose some they're not supposed to lose, and that's what happened yesterday.
The penalties were certainly painful as well, and the one also that helped set up the Texans for that win. Trayvon Walker's personal foul, a little bit kind of, what were you thinking here? Frustration, but really not.
I tell you what happened. I think if you watch the play, he was offsides, and I think he's frustrated that he was offsides. He realized it was a free play for the Texans, so he's frustrated the whole time, and then he made a mistake he can't make. He knows he can't do that. Trayvon's a smart young guy. He knows that's a play you cannot make. It was a dagger. It led to the only touchdown of the game and the only time the Texans were in the red zone. He knows he can't do that. Trayvon's a sharp guy. He knows how to play. I don't think you'll ever see that again. Foye Oluokun, after the game, the middle linebacker, kind of the leader of the defense, they asked him, did you say anything to him? He said, I don't have to say anything to him. Yeah. He's a smart guy. He knows he shouldn't have done that. I don't think you'll ever see that again from Trayvon Walker.
So let's look at some highlights. So Etienne had a fantastic game.
Yeah, Travis Etienne, probably his breakout game. Yeah. He's a young player. Remember, he missed all of last year with the injury, so he's really sort of a rookie playing for the first time. I think he probably needs to get the ball more. Doug was asked after the game, why not more Etienne? He said, you know what, that's on me. I'm the play caller. Probably need to get him the ball more. I think you're going to see more of number 1. He's explosive. James Robinson's a good back, but he doesn't make people miss like that. Travis is an explosive player. He probably needs to get the ball more. Remember this, too. Doug Peterson's calling plays for the first time with this young team. He's new to them. They're the 3rd youngest team in the league. I think you're going to see more of this as they move forward. Travis Etienne is an explosive player, and he needs to get the ball more. And I think Doug Peterson said that after the game.
And he certainly has a groove, certainly with his Clemson, former teammate in Trevor Lawrence as well. All right, so what do as we look ahead to the Colts? I mean, we are going in having beaten them. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, but this is going to be a hard game. Okay, the Colts know that happened too. All right, the Colts are seething a little bit about the fact that they got rolled here in Jacksonville and they lost at the end of the season last year. This is not going to be an easy game. The Colts aren't a great team, but they're a veteran team. They did not have Jonathan Taylor last week, but remember, they've had a long week now. They've had 10 days to get ready for this game because they played a Thursday night game. Don't kid yourself. Forget what happened last time this team was in town. This is a tough game for the Jaguars and an important game given yesterday's loss.
Yeah, let's break up this losing streak. I know that we can do it, right? We've got confidence in our local team. Thanks, Frank, for being here this morning. Jen, we appreciate you.
You got it.